I may have a special surprise for you.
Really?
Yeah.
So, our second guest?
I want you to close your eyes right now because I hear them. All right. Come on in.
Hi.
Think about what you're telling
When
me.
you break it down like that,
There's no other way to break it down.
it just sounds like such an excuse for us to put on thongs and dress up as women.
I guess so. So not only do I look good, which I had no idea that I actually even looked like this because I've been taking quarantine very serious.
When you were wearing that mask, I wasn't sure that it was you the whole time that we walked up to the hotel room.
It could have not.
It could have been anybody.
I could have just intercepted a text. Hey, bro, I'll be there. Next thing you know, I'm taking masks off for a different reason. Oh, yellow mic.
Yellow mic.
Yellow mic.
Hey.
Dude, it's been a minute since I saw you, bro.
It's been a minute since I've seen anybody.
Yeah.
I've only seen like 4 friends in the last year and a half.
I'm feeling that energy from you. And it's exciting.
It's literally, I feel like I could totally do Mars. Like if they were taking volunteers to get off this planet,
yeah,
and they were like, you're going to be isolated, you'll be around, maybe 100 people for the rest of your life, I'd be like, sign me up, I'm cool, no masks needed, whatever, just fresh air. I feel like I could pull it off. I could do the rest of my life just.
You're one of those people who adapted to quarantine right away.
Well, I kind of adapted, but also it's kind of nice.
Did it break you?
To just,
you just started
to just be like, now I have an excuse to just be alone with just, 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
I
mean, you get used to your core group real quick.
Yeah. But also back to the fact that, did quarantine break me?
Did quarantine
break me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. I do truly believe I might have been broken a little bit.
But do you feel like you rebuilt yourself?
No.
Like,
Look at how I feel super weird sitting next to you right now. I went to a Blazer game last night. Like
congrats, by the way. They're doing good.
Well, we lost
last
night. So
I didn't tune into last.
No, it's okay, but we are in the playoffs.
You're in the playoffs, though.
So that's good.
That's why I meant the congrats.
Yeah, exactly. But last night's game was the first game. I have season tickets. I've been going to games for like season tickets for 10 years. But since I was 12 years old, I've been going to the Trailblazer games. And last night I went to the first game in a year and a half since quarantining has happened. And I think the 8,000 other people in that arena probably was the first thing that they've done in a year and a half, because it was literally like going to a semi-pro hockey game. That's the fans were like
just going crazy,
chanting, "Refs, you suck!" And they haven't even been out of the house in a year, and that's the first thing they can. It was chaos.
They're still in the parking lot. The game hasn't even started yet.
Kicked out right by me. His bro, not wearing a mask, was like, "I ain't leaving." I'm like, "You are leaving!" Like everyone, like a girl got her pizza. She was holding a pizza, and some dude just somehow blasted by her and knocked this brand new pizza, unbitten, no bites off of it, out of her hand, and it goes flying. And I'm just like, this is chaos. I'm wearing my mask. This is nuts. Like, how are we supposed to get back to this being normal?
But it felt good, didn't it?
It felt weird. It felt good to
slowly get back
out of the. There's no slowly getting back to anything.
Well, when I've been
it's full speed
doing
ahead
shows
again.
on the road, you sense that with audience members, because they're like, they're not sure how to feel, like being back out and like back out of the clubs and stuff like that. They're like, am I doing something wrong by being here? They're a little bit inside their head, and as the show goes on, they chill out and they become better audience members. But at first, they're sometimes like,
do they all wear masks?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, so
if you're seated, then you don't have to wear a mask.
So this is crazy. Like people's lives have changed.
This is crazy.
Like people's like livelihoods, careers, they've been changed or now no longer exist because of this. And like all of a sudden we're like, no mask needed again.
You're like a guy who just found out about the pandemic. You're like, have you heard about this thing? It's changing people's lives.
Holy crap.
What's going on?
Don't breathe. Dude, this would be literally the best time to have a year and a half ago committed a crime and gone to prison. Because you're not missing out on shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it might be safer.
There's no FOMO.
No FOMO.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. You didn't miss out on the concert or your friend's wedding. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like nobody had a wedding.
Pause.
No concerts.
I actually got out of some weddings and I was freaking stoked.
They're coming back tenfold, my friend.
Oh, it's scary.
All those weddings that you avoided for last year, there's going to be 10 weddings next year.
The revenge of the weddings.
Let's write a movie.
Let's do it. Just a whole year, like where it's like, that's actually a great idea for a movie.
That's
Let's
it.
do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
okay,
do
we're writing that film.
Yeah.
Who knows where it'll ever end up, but let's do
Revenge
that.
of the Weddings.
Yeah, dude. Wow, God.
Like it was a paradise for every bro in America while quarantine was happening.
We'll call it
Until they found a cure.
What once was, now is. It'll be like a sci-fi horror film.
Yeah.
With a little slasher comedy. Anyways, back to the story.
Dude,
Yellow Mike.
One of the Yellow Mike. One of the last times I was in Portland, you and I
is that in relation to QAnon?
Nope, you and I is a very different organization.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
You and I is me and Ehren.
Listen, I've been stuck inside watching news, and I'm like, QAnon, you and I don't know. I'm like,
bro, I forgot how much I like your energy. You're a freaking like electric jolt of it. I love it.
I got a year and a half stored up in here, my friend.
Yeah, let's freaking go, dude. How much time you got on this podcast, huh?
Remove the mask. What are you talking about? Let's do this. Yellow Mike. Anyways, so you and I.
Yeah.
You and I. Okay.
We went to. You said, I know this great place that has the best steak in town.
Oh yeah.
And it was in a strip club.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Gentlemen's club, strip club. Lucky Devil, actually, and that's my friend Sean and Josh, and
shout out to Sean and Josh, Lucky Devil,
and Frank. You know,
what's up, Frank?
My boys there. Very high class place, though, right?
Well, you thought it was very funny because
you're like, what am I doing here?
So I have never been to a strip club before, and Aaron's like, dude, we're not gonna go inside. We have to go through it, but we're not gonna eat inside of it. I'm like, I guess I'll do that. So we were gonna eat in the back patio of the strip club.
Yeah.
So. You have to walk through this gentleman's club. And so I just looked at the floor.
You closed your eyes, and I guided you through to the back patio where there's a fire pit. And granted, now we're outside, safe as... This is pre-COVID by far.
Oh, yeah.
Long
this is years
before
ago.
COVID.
Yeah.
Like, and finally, you get outside, and you're like... Okay, so what's the scene? and we got our food, and how amazing was it?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I still remember the blue cheese crumbles and the steak.
Lucky Devil Lounge.
Really, really good.
Yeah, here in Portland. My friend Sean and Josh, I was saying, they did this thing, Boober Eats, where they ended up like maybe having to change the name because Boober whatever, but they would deliver topless or scantily clad to doors during the pandemic. That was pretty cool. So they took their blue cheese on the road and delivered it to you.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah.
You thought that was the funniest thing, like because I looked down at the ground and you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm a married guy. I don't really want to look around or anything.
Yeah. Did you even like be honest?
No, I didn't. I did not
peek at all.
Nope. I looked at all floor. The only thing that I saw was like bro, the only thing that I saw was literally I saw like some ankles. I was like, oh. I was like, oh no, Jeremiah, keep looking.
I did not go to a titty club. I went to an ankle club.
That's all I went to.
That's all I saw.
They had really good steak at this ankle club, honey. That's it.
And nice ankles.
Really,
from what I could see.
I mean, I'm not going to even comment on the ankles.
Yeah. What if there is? Oh my God, though. Seriously. So yeah, and that was shocking to me because I've grown up my whole life in Oregon and Portland and been around here, and like that is kind of just something that's just like a normal nightclub
it's just part of life.
Bar.
Yeah,
it's just is a strip club. I don't personally frequent strip clubs to like do much more than hang out with my friends and eat cheesesteak sandwiches and
Sure.
blue cheese steaks and sometimes the occasional French fry and salad. And I partake in non-alcoholic beverages, and I keep my heads down too. My eyes, I keep them down. Sometimes I do this though, like. But then I'm right back down into
You're right
it.
back
so,
into
like,
you're right back into the steak. You're right back into it.
Yeah, I'm there for a purpose, you know, like the occasional, like, which is a little different than what you are used to.
A little bit different
experience.
experience.
Have you been to a strip club since?
No. So the only time I've been to strip clubs with you, and the other time where
strip clubs.
I'll tell you the other time. The other time was literally I was in Montreal. And I lost one of my friends, my buddy Jamar Neighbors. We were needing to do a show together, do a show at this Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Mm-hmm. The reason why we're out there for. He's lost. He turns out he was in the strip club, and I had to get him out of the strip club. So I literally...
so he wasn't actually lost.
We lost him.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
He wasn't lost. He wasn't like, I'm so lost. I ended up in the strip club. I don't know what happened. I'm so glad you guys found me.
Yeah. There's like missing posters around town and stuff like that.
A week later.
Yeah. Jamar,
I've been in here the whole time, man. Have you been inside of this place? It's amazing. And you come in, you're like,
so I literally
looks pretty cool.
I go up to the bouncer. I was like, "Hey, have you seen a black guy with a very colorful jacket that's in here?" And the guy's like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "Dude, I'm still trying to look at the floor."
And you didn't look up again?
No.
Huh. Is it because you feel like you're doing something wrong? Because I mean, I get that.
Yeah. No, that definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're on the beach and there's like girls in bikinis?
Well, I try not to stare.
You just avoided the whole look thing and went straight to stare. Like,
well,
there's a couple there's a couple levels between.
I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna look and see. But I'm trying to, out of respect for my wife, not try to Google women and stuff like that.
Totally.
Be all googly eyes.
So, but like, what about a topless girl on the beach? And like you're in the south of France, everything's wonderful, and there's a topless girl.
I was with my wife one time.
Okay.
There was a topless girl.
No way it happened.
In California. Dun, dun, dun. There's a topless girl, and my wife...
In California?
In California. The city of opportunities. Boing. There was a woman who was topless, and this freaking creepy guy ruined it, because there's always one creepy dude who ruins it for everybody else.
He started staring.
No, this older guy walked up to these two women who were topless. He walked up to them, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing? Get lost, get lost."
And then what did they do? Just
and they're like, "Okay." So they rolled over. They rolled over. They're like, "Okay."
But were you looking at him talking to them?
Yeah, of course.
Did you look at them before he went and talked to them?
Yeah.
So
my wife was even like,
the only difference is that there's sand on the beach?
He's caught me.
You red mind.
Found out I'm a creepy guy. Oh no.
But my wife even goes, she looks and she goes, "Yes, Jeremiah, she's very pretty." I'm like, "All right, I'm glad you said something." I was definitely not going to say anything, but like, I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, she's probably from like another country or something."
And this is the norm.
Yep, she had an accent.
Oh yeah.
This creepy dude started being like, "Hey, what's going on, girls?" All this stuff, and they're like, "Okay, so we're going to turn over now. Bye."
Was this like in Venice Beach or something?
It was around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like just another day in Venice.
Another day in Venice.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Well, yeah. So that was that. This is true about the Gentlemen's Club. There are a lot of them here in Portland, and that was hilarious. That actually, I couldn't still believe that was the first time you basically had ever been into a place like that.
Yeah, I did an indie movie where I was in a strip club scene.
Oh,
and that was filmed. It wasn't at a strip club, but they like did a set design like around it, and there were strippers in the scene.
Let me ask you this: as an actor, if you went into a strip club as an actor, you're just acting, right?
Absolutely.
So like you could pretty much go into the strip club and not feel like you're doing something wrong as an actor.
As an actor.
Because as an actor in a film you did, there was a strip club. Was there?
Yeah.
And you were cool
and they
with
were
that.
and the girls were topless in that. It was for a comedy.
I think I'm onto something here. If you just always say you're acting,
that is a
you can
slippery slope, my
get
friend.
away with anything.
Guys, it was acting.
I was acting.
Don't worry about it. I mean,
It's a new film coming out. That's literally how I started my career in
You're like,
Jackass.
I'm doing research.
I was like, no, I'm just acting. Everything I did, I was like, no, I'm acting.
What was the first thing that got you? What was the first thing, even before Jackass, where you're doing like stunt stuff, where you're like, oh, I think I'm onto something?
Oh, good question, Jeremiah Watkins. Hot Red Mike.
Ehren McGehee, Danger Ehren
Here we
on
go.
the show.
Oh yeah, by the way, hi, I'm Danger Ehren.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. We go full force sometimes.
That was like the prelude.
Every time we see each other though, it's right away. We go 1,000 miles an hour. I like it.
Year
though.
and a half. I've waited for this for a year and a half. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I was thinking about the strip club.
Oh, you were acting.
I was acting.
He's acting.
I was acting. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I was acting about it.
Hot Mike.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, Mike.
First thing, question. Oh, yeah. So, anyways, hi, everybody. And it's so great to see
Hi.
you, Jeremiah. It's been so long.
It has been a long time.
It feels like a lifetime. It's been forever.
Dude, we have children now.
We have children.
We have
You have a
children.
child, and I have a
That's
child.
crazy.
Kids of the COVID.
It's cool.
I want to start a band.
Pandy babies.
And have them, like little kids, be the band.
Yep.
And I want to call it Kids of the COVID.
Kids of the COVID. It also sounds like a horror film, though.
It could be all sorts of things.
Yeah.
It could be it can be anything.
Okay.
Literally. Anyways.
Do you think your kid's going to be musical?
No, I have no idea. I'm just gonna let her be whoever she wants to be, with some guidance and some preparation for life by through me.
Yeah.
It might be that we move to Mars, like I was talking about. I'm ready for it.
I think they're ready for you at this point.
Yeah, Mars, here we go. Well, that's funny.
Hey, man, I get into it, dude.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I get it.
Same. So you asked me what was the first thing I did as a stunt or whatever.
Yeah, before. Yeah,
So
even before.
Way before. Like, it goes back, I've told this story maybe a couple times. I can't remember. It's really hard to remember
What?
pre-COVID past. Literally, I can't remember the music even I listened to.
The ghost of COVID past comes to visit you.
It's
and
become something of
a little bit of a haze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's all a haze. Like, I think it's like, maybe I have an early case of dementia or something.
Well, it's also probably because the baby too. Everything is
That's
just so.
probably true.
I think it's more that. I think it's more
You're
baby
right.
haze than
Just
COVID
like,
haze.
poof, mind
That's
blown.
what I feel.
Yeah.
This last month, freaking yeah.
And then the 9 months
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
not quite 9 months, but
Yeah.
9 months ago. What happened 9 months ago?
9 months ago.
Shh. We're not going to talk about it.
Were you guys trying for a while?
We were acting.
We were acting. Were you and your
No.
lady,
I mean,
or did it
life-
happen pretty quick?
It happened fairly quickly, and we discussed all of its realities and made a very logical, educated, and loving decision.
That's great.
To go forward, and we have a wonderful, healthy, beautiful little baby girl named Cedar.
Nice.
Cedar Moon.
That's awesome.
Tight, right?
Cedar Moon.
Cedar Moon McGehee.
That's like very anime. I like that.
She's fifth generation Oregonian. See, I'm even wearing a hat, Oregon. But there's a lot of cedar trees up here, and also we have the moon up here.
You do?
Yeah, it was full last night. Did
Are
you
you
not
serious?
see it? Only here though in Oregon.
Huh.
But yeah,
Do you guys
so we
have-
have
do you guys have
cedar
clouds up
trees and moon.
Cedar trees and moon.
So I was like, what better names to be?
Okay.
What was your question?
My question was, well,
No, just now. What were you trying to say? Mm-hmm. Totally. Anyways, so yes.
Yeah. I asked if you guys were trying for a little while, if it
Yes.
happened right away.
No. So there is reality now. Here we are, and life is wonderful, and I wouldn't change anything at all.
That's
I'm
awesome.
so happy, and that is in itself the gnarliest, craziest, most beautiful thing I've ever been through in my life. It's surreal. Like, it literally might have blown my mind a little bit, and I'm still kind of. It's what you're talking about as well. Is like the birth of your child, and just like, wow.
What was your reaction when, like, because me, like, I didn't expect this out of me. I started bawling like immediately. I like literally, because we had some complications during the birth.
Yeah.
And then when everybody was okay and everything, I was just like, just waterworks.
Yeah, you were staying solid during, and then afterwards,
I was set, but as soon as everybody was okay, even the doctors were
like father, like son, he was probably crying too, right?
Yeah, he was.
You guys are great together. You should start a band.
He's just like his dad.
No, I was taking photographs because I do photography.
You're a talented photographer,
thank
dude.
you. Thank you.
Dude, you showed me some of your work, and I also follow you on Instagram, of course, and you got some dope shots.
Yeah, I've been touring with bands for like 20 years now, and I'm putting out this book and all this stuff. But not to get off subject, which is very easy to do when you have a year and a half of shit to talk about.
Pieces of Ehren. Pieces of Ehren. Pieces of Ehren.
Back to what I was doing is I was taking photographs and being there for my loved one and the family, and all of that was happening. There was only myself and her mother that was allowed into having the room having the baby.
Oh yeah,
because due to COVID and whatnot. So
I think that's almost a blessing in some ways.
It was. It wasn't like
because
a big show.
My family and stuff wanted. They're like, we're gonna be there, right? I'm like, COVID.
Yeah, no,
and
sorry.
Like, yeah. And I was like grateful.
It gives you more time to focus on what you're doing and how real it is, because it's intense. So, but I cut the umbilical cord, and then
I did that too.
And then I ate that immediately, because they say that the placenta and the umbilical cord is the most spiritual way to go to the other side. And I think that's what happened. Why my mind is so blown is that after I ate the placenta, that like was
Did
fresh,
you eat the placenta?
straight away and put it in my mouth. They told me. I read this thing on Google.
I honestly cannot tell if
I
you're
read
joking
this thing
or
on
not.
Google that said if
cannot
you
tell.
do this, you will transcend to another space and time and realize some things. Like it's a little bit more verbally educated than what I'm saying, but it basically said, do this and you'll be able to like transcend your mind to another space and time and understand life in its all being, from the beginning to the end.
And you feel that way?
No.
You're like,
I didn't actually eat the
you're like, this
placenta.
tastes weird.
I didn't actually do that.
Some people do.
I didn't do any of that other than cut the umbilical cord, which basically was the same as eating it and going all trippy mindset fucker, because that literally like was so intense and so surreal. I'm like, life is like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like breathing, living, being birthed to the end, all of it.
You being a dad, me being a dad.
All,
what?
like totally.
What?
It's a trip.
It is.
But back to your question, when was the first stunt I ever did? Yeah. So that was when I was the age of 3. I grew up in a mortuary. My dad's a mortician. And so at the age of 3, I had this little van thing here, and I was like that, and I launched it off of these 18 stairs. They're wooden, gnarly. Like, I look at that now, and I think, like, my child were to do that at the age of 3, I would literally be, like, in shock. I'd be like, oh, my God, what do I do? And so I launched this van, and it went flying down there, so I thought it looked cool, and so I took a couple steps back, and I ran full speed, and I jumped 18 stairs down to the bottom, and my mom heard this big thud, crazy, and I started crying. But I started crying because I looked over like this, and I realized that my van had broken. The back of the door broke, and and that made me cry.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, I felt pain because I had no idea what pain was before that particular moment. And my mom comes rushing down the stairs and picks me up, and puts me into the bath, gives me a bath, and then later, after that, gives me some ice cream and puts me in bed, and I'm crying, and I start feeling better. And it was that moment at the age of 3 that I realized that if I just do crazy stuff, my mom will give me ice cream. And so literally I've been chasing that my entire life, and that's not a joke or like that is 100% correct, accurate. I remember it so vividly as if it were. I still have the van at home, but that was
That's
the
crazy
moment
that you have that strong of a memory at 3 years old.
Yeah, I can tell you the color of the walls. I can tell you the color of the sheet or the bed sheet that my mom put me on. The color of the bed. The color of all of it vividly. I remember things before that, But that is the moment in my life that at the age of 3, I realized that
it shaped,
like kind of like like you as an entertainer, like why do you do it? You like that energy that you get for entertaining people and getting noticed or something.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's like so that is exactly it.
I have early memories of my parents asking me to do voices and stuff for their friends.
There you go.
I got hooked.
And you liked the attention.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How old were you?
I mean, probably around this time. This probably would have been around like 5.
5 years old. There you go.
Yeah.
And you learned something then. You felt something then that was rewarding to you. And so ever since then, you haven't been able to shake it.
People were happy and laughing, and they're like telling me great job and stuff. I was like, oh, this is great.
So think about this. My first inclination of that and feeling was when I jumped off of 18 stairs. Yours was doing voices, and look at us still today. You're doing voices, and I'm jumping off of stairs.
Well, you
think about it.
You guys literally just did Jackass 4.
We just did.
Are you excited about it?
I jumped off some stairs.
Did you really?
We built these stairs on Mars, and I fucking jumped all the way back to Earth. That's how I feel. I'm sitting here in so much pain.
Full circle, dude.
Yeah, full circle, bro. But isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That your method of achieving that feeling was to do voices and comedy. And I do comedy and voices as well, but I did shtick more. Like I used my body for that feeling from the beginning. And we're still, like, to this day, I'm 44 now. How old are you now?
32.
32, yucks. Yeah. But you're still 32.
Yeah.
And for 32, for 28 years, you've been basically living that same pattern.
Yeah.
And you'll never not. Even when you retire or just move on to something else, you'll always appreciate that feeling you get when you make somebody laugh.
Did you have the same excitement going back to doing Jackass 4 as you did as the first couple, or is it just a new shifted kind of energy?
Well, good question.
Right? Because like the first couple, it's so new. You guys are like,
it was never new though.
Well, I mean, the sensation of like we're doing a movie, that's got to be a new feeling. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like this thing that we grew together. Like now we get to do a movie with this.
Yeah, I think I definitely still have the feeling, whether it be anxiety or excitement. There's so many feelings that happen when we go to film a movie, but for me it's the same feeling as it was when we just started the pilot for the TV show.
Yeah,
like, and it goes back to that age of 3. That feeling is. Like people are like, how are you gonna do Jackass? You're 44 and you've had 27 surgeries. You've broken your neck 3 times. You've had 11 knee surgeries. Your hand's been broken twice. Your face has been broken 4 times. You ripped your tooth out with Bam's Lamborghini and it took 9 months to heal. What are you thinking, dude? How are you gonna perform? How are you gonna be on Jackass 4? And I look at that person and I say, what?
You say
what?
Reflection. Reflection.
I literally wake up in this body and I'm like, oh my god, you're right. Holy shit, this is me. No, I literally say
you're looking in the mirror like, I'm the only one who knows these stats as well as unless somebody really studied a Wikipedia or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, how do you know all that?
Wait a second, you rattled that off real freely.
Yeah, I'm
Who
serious.
Who are you?
I'm serious. That's what I say to them because it's so confusing that people know everything.
I mean,
no, but truly, like, it's not. It's no different.
It's a different kind of excitement.
The only thing different is like, the ability to move on from the pain.
Oh, it lingers a little. Yeah. It's going to linger a little bit more.
And it's not necessarily the pain as much as the injury, and that's mentally and physically. because mentally there's a lot of things that happen when we go and film these movies.
Yeah.
Where we mess with each other mentally, not just physically.
Right.
And
You have to have your guard up the entire time
oh
being
my
on
God,
set around
dude.
those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they like to mess with you a lot.
Yeah, I get
You
like,
get-
as they say, I get picked on quite a bit more than most. And I don't even know if it's a picked on thing. Here's the deal. There was 9 of us. Now there's some more of us, the new cast that's coming in, and it's pretty cool. They're rad. But it started out as like 9 of us, 10 of us. And we each have like a role to that. And my role is to basically do whatever it takes to make people laugh.
Yeah.
And going back to the age of 3, whatever it takes to make people
Whether
laugh.
it's
So
stairs,
like
whether it's...
I don't normally like take shit from people like I do with Jackass. Like, to be honest, I just don't. But this is my job, and this is the dynamic that has been created. So I'm gonna do the best that I can and make people fucking laugh.
Yeah.
And if I gotta get dick hair on my face to do it, or rip my tooth out with the Lamborghini, break my face, 9 months healing, have to use bone graft somebody else's bone into my mouth because it cracked from here to my eye socket.
What?
Yeah, it cracked all the way up into my eye socket from here, from the roof of my mouth to my eye socket. And that took 9 months to heal. Break my neck 3 times, blah, 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 all these things.
The
If I'm
broken
going to do
neck-
it, I'm going to do it the best I can,
To the
and
best of your
people are going to
ability.
fucking laugh their asses off.
Yeah.
So if I got to get picked on a little bit to make you laugh, then fucking let's do this.
There you go.
So I'm an actor. I'm acting.
I'm acting. It goes back to the strip club.
Exactly.
I'm acting.
I'm acting.
Is the neck injury the scariest out of all those injuries? The broken neck, because
the idea of the broken neck, is like, paralyzed. You're thinking,
yeah.
It by far is like something I don't wish upon even my most mortal enemies of all time. The pain of when your nervous system gets messed with, so PTSD from all the, being on guard and all that, and being constantly preparing for the end of my life, possibly. I don't know. Like, I could tell you some shit we've done in this new movie, but I'm not going to because I can't.
Yeah.
So I really can't, but I would, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Because I'm choosing not to.
Yeah, you would, but you could.
But I will tell you some shit that I did on the movie was so gnarly. I thought maybe I would die, or definitely like not be able to procreate a child. Which luckily I never told them while we were filming. I was pregnant. We were pregnant during the whole filming until the end, because I'm like, if I tell them I'm having a baby already, they're gonna cut my dick off. And so turns out I could have told them anyways, because we pretty much cut my dick off. So I mean, we didn't cut it off, but I definitely have bleeding.
Let me see it, dude. Let me see it, dude.
All right, you want to see it?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let me see it, dude. Let me see it.
I've been taking my mask off in a year in a weird hotel room here in Portland,
Listen,
Oregon.
dude, I just asked you out to
All
my
right.
hotel room. I asked to see
All
your
right.
dick, and I said, take that mask off,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, were you going to look at it, or are you going to look at my ankles? Which might be both at the same time.
Oh. Slinging it.
Can you do one of those? Is that?
We can have that in.
Okay, cool.
We can have that in.
Yeah, do that right now. All right, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Tight shit.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah Watkins. And when I'm not bombing on podcasts with Anthony Jeselnik, I sometimes like to sneak away to a farm and milk my goats. And while I do that, I use Fume. Fume is not nicotine-based, it's plant-infused essential oils. That feels nice. And this feels nice. They could help you quit smoking. You might want to look into it. Fume handcrafts beautiful wooden pieces to make the quitting process simple and easy and even cool looking. I mean, can you smoke a cigarette while you milk a goat? No. But you can inhale essential oils with Fume. It's that nice. This is Lemon Berry Bliss, and this helps with my allergies because I have a huge nose. And if you got a big honker like myself, or big teats like this goat right here, helps with seasonal allergies. Look into it. Head to www.fumeessential.com, that's FUM Essential, and use code WONDER to save yourself 10% to help you or a loved one quit smoking today. Ah, how you liking that, pal? Fume has already helped over 30,000 customers worldwide, with hundreds of customers who have shared their quitting stories on their site. So go check it out. Head to www.breathefume.com. That's breathefum.com and use promo code WONDER and grab a Fume and check out their variety of plant-infused cores. And start not smoking today.
So, yeah, it's not like it was more fun when we were younger. It's still fun or not. I think what's surprising to people is that that people still care about Jackass. Like,
oh yeah.
Or maybe it's not surprising to maybe myself and to people at all. Maybe it's not surprising. Maybe it's just rad, because back then there was no YouTube or social media or anything like that. So like,
when I first saw it, my mind was blown. I was like,
yeah.
What are these guys doing? Like, like legitimately, I was like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah, now you just go on social media and it's like everybody's doing that.
Well,
so it's not really.
You guys paved the way, though.
Yeah, there was other people long before us, and there always will be and always has been. But we were perfect storm. Like,
perfect storm.
That, the stuff that we were doing was so gnarly and weird, and MTV just happened to be kind of, needing a show. And
was there anything that you were like, look back on where you're like embarrassed by anything? Like, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that one. Like any stunts where you're like,
have you seen anything I've done? Like, I would say all of it. But I mean, if you were to like break it down to just a few,
yeah,
I'd probably say all of it. But
this is what Daddy does.
yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing I regret, or that. Like, the only thing I will in the future or will regret is anything I do to hurt somebody, like to harm them purposefully or to demean them in any way, like other than my bros. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
But it seems like these days, especially, everybody's very not just sensitive but aware of other people's life and feelings and perspectives.
Sure.
And so the only thing I could ever regret saying or doing is anything that would be harmful to somebody else in that way. And that's true, because I really just want to live a good life and like be able to take my last breath knowing I was a good person. And that is fucking hard to do for humans these days. But
it takes effort.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort.
But if, like, I've almost died a couple times, and one time in particular, I literally DMT released in my brain. And, growing up in the mortuary, I've been around death my entire life. Like, I've known it's knocking on my door. That's why I go full every day, whatever, if I can. But DMT released in my brain, and I had like 5 seconds of thought of me dying, and my whole life flashed before my eye, like literally my whole life as vividly as I'm living it right now, like flash in my mind.
So that expression is
it's
a
true,
very
100% true. And in the end, the last thing was the one thing I was really upset about was that I didn't get a chance to properly say goodbye. And the other thing that let me go at peace was that I lived a good life, and I feel like I'm a good person with good energy, and that was truly my heaven. And I believe that since I was very young, growing up in the mortuary, and going in through, with books in my hands, coming back from elementary school day, there'd be a funeral going, and I'd talk to an old lady or something, and she would tell me stories about her husband and whatever else. And I realized it's the memories that we leave behind for what our life was that lives forever. And I would much rather leave behind memories, good memories people can say like rad stuff about.
Yeah.
than to say I'm a badass and I made lots of money or anything else. I burned a bunch of people, and so I learned firsthand. Heaven for me is to be able to let go, to die in peace.
What was the incident where you had that DMT release in your brain, that near death experience?
So I've never skydived before, but this one time I went skydiving, I linked up on a tandem, and the dude they matched me up with was named Steve-O. That's his nickname. I don't fucking know how this happened. He dreadhead and whatever else. And we get up there 14,000 feet, and I'm with a bunch of people, and we jump out. And when we jump, and I've almost died several other times where I'm way more in control. Like I can whoa, shit, because I used to be pretty spry. Like I can jump away from a near-death experience.
Yeah.
But when you're skydiving, you can't jump away or do zig or
especially
zag
if
or
you're
anything.
tandem.
Yeah. So we are free falling, and the parachute gets tangled. Because, a bunch of teenage girls put the parachutes in before you jump, because that's how we do it up here in Oregon. You know what I'm saying? We're hot damn shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But
we don't care about the chutes.
No, one less person to worry about feeding.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's all good. Hey, that cow's hungry over there. Though.
Things are different in the going, man.
You do what you got to do. So I'm free falling, and the parachute doesn't open correctly, and now we're in a G-force spiral. My eyeball socket pops, it starts leaking fluid, weird, and we go into this G-force spiral, and then he cuts the parachute, but before he cuts the parachute, I'm screaming, "We're gonna die! We're gonna fucking die!" And that's when the DMT released, and then right as he cut the chute, I hear, "Watch this!" From behind me, and he cut the parachute with a knife that was in the back of my parachute pouch. Shit. And then we free fall again, and the DMT is released in my brain, and this is it. Because I don't even know that there's a reserve. I'm not thinking and who's to say that reserve is gonna work? This is my first time skydiving, dude. So mentally, I was preparing to die.
Yeah.
As the ground was coming up closer and closer, and it was at that moment that and I've known this, but to actually experience it in such detail and with no control of it happening or not, made me realize that particular one goal in life is to be able to die in peace, to say you were a good person, and that's it. Take your last breath, because there's nothing's gonna save you. This ain't a video game. No zigging, no zagging, nothing. That's it. We're all going to have our last breath. Can't even talk. We're all going to have our last breath, and nobody wants to think about it because we're too busy living life. Woo, yeah, fucking rad. I'm in the zone.
And that's really why I had you on today, is to really tell the viewers that we're all going to die, and it's unavoidable, and it's inexplicable, and it's going to happen. So buckle up and just make sure you're a good person.
Yeah. So I'll just do that now.
It's okay.
I was just trying to get a little closer to you.
You can put it
without
back.
being weird.
You can put it back if you want.
Okay. What would be the proper? Should I do this?
Do we hug?
I don't think so. I'm gonna go back to this.
He hasn't hugged anybody in a year, and he's I'm way more comfortable with just putting a hand on a knee right now.
I got hand sanitizer. I'll touch you.
I don't have
with my hand.
neck sanitizer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
You've seen the scar back here? That thing can get infected in a millisecond. Jesus, why do you gotta make this so awkward?
What? I'm not making it awkward.
We were just talking about being awesome while we were alive and dying, and then all of a sudden I got a little.
Then all of a sudden it's an infomercial.
Jesus.
The first dead body you saw, you were probably 4 years old or something then.
Why you gotta bring that up?
I don't know. I just was thinking about it.
I'm so uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring this up.
Okay, fine. I'll answer your stupid question. It's very logical, but it's still stupid. I'm not even gonna drink that.
That's yours.
I don't care.
You took the label off.
I did. I'll drink it.
All right, it's yours.
Here. Give me a second here.
He's got to gather, so.
God, water sure is nice, ain't it?
It is.
It's wonderful. What would we do without it? We wouldn't really do a lot, actually.
Water is life. It's essential to life.
Man, I was trying to figure out maybe what you were thinking in your eyes right there.
Yeah. What were we thinking?
But I think we're thinking the same thing. We're fucking. That's it. There's nothing. Blackness.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I can't do that anymore, man.
Dude. Yeah.
Woo! I think they're kicking in. What?
Okay.
All right.
Here's a question for you.
So first dead body that I saw.
We'll do that, and then I got another one.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget your question.
Oh, no,
I'll answer
I'll
this
put
one
a little
first.
pin in that. I'll put a
All
little
right.
pin.
Well, the first dead body that I saw, I think I was probably like literally. I mean, I remember seeing some bags when I was 3, 4, 5. But I remember like 7 years old. I remember seeing the.
Let the bodies hit the floor. So you're like little.
I was very little, 7.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that. And this is funny because in my stand-up, when I do stand-up, which isn't very often, my back hurts because I sit so much these days. But when I do some stand-up, one of the things I'd like to say is first pair of titties I saw, I was 7. Yeah. She was 80. Yeah. I thought that's what boobs look like California raisins for the longest time of my life. But come to find out, they're not. They're not like that at all. Titties! And then everyone goes like, yeah, titties! Because it's titties.
No, do you?
But literally, that's what I thought.
Do you tag the joke up with titties? Do you go titties?
That's it. Yeah.
Nice.
It's because if boobs cool.
Boobs cool, man.
But the first time I actually saw my first pair of boobies
was on an old woman.
Was on an old woman, and she was dead. Very hard. Rigor mortis.
You
had set
or
in.
Oh, okay.
Oh no. Logical question.
Right.
Logical
You said very
question.
hard, so I said you or the lady.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that meant at that age, but I can tell you that was like a little bit shocking and terrifying to think that that's like what they look like, because 80-year-old boobies ain't as cool as younger.
The freshies.
The freshies. I mean,
the fresh and easies.
I don't want to get into that weird stuff.
Oh no, not too fresh.
Yeah, not too fresh. That's so weird. I swear to God, I feel like I can't even be funny or say jokes or say anything for that matter that might offend somebody or something. Like, I don't even know. Like, are you talking fresh meaning like 25? Or you mean fresh like 18, and that's weird. And even 25 for me is weird. Like,
the fact that we are going on a deep dive now on the age makes it way worse than just leaving it at freshies.
Yeah, you're right. We can edit that out though, right? Drum roll again. Weird.
Oh, I like it, dude.
Okay? Doubles. We're tandem touching.
Tandem touching. We're gonna die. 5 seconds of DMT. What was your favorite stunt that you ever did that got cut on Jackass? Your favorite one that you're like, oh, why didn't that stay?
There's so many, especially in this new movie, Jackass 4. Because we filmed for a year and a half because we kept getting shut down with COVID and whatever else and all the protocols and whatnot.
Yeah.
We filmed so much footage. There's we have at least 2 full feature films.
Do you think there'll be a 4.5?
Oh, there already is. But whether or not it comes out theatrically, I don't know. That's not up to me.
Right.
I wish it were, because I would say, are you kidding? 4.5 is better than 4. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
We have so much footage. So there's going to be so much stuff that's cut out that I wish were, not just for me, but all of our, everybody killed it. It was insane.
Yeah.
Next level. Like,
was there
if
anything
anybody asks, well, how are you going to do it? Or like, is it going to be like a bunch of geriatric old dudes running around? I'm like, you'll see. And you're going to say the same thing that I'm saying to you right now. That's the gnarliest shit we've ever done and you've ever seen. It's each movie keeps getting progressively more funny and gnarly. And how does that ever?
As a Jackass fan, this is very exciting to hear.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's going to it's amazing.
Dude, Ehren, it was gnarly, man.
It was so gnarly. Back in the day, Sonny, I used to be somebody. I ripped my dick off for a movie.
I was doing my Steve-O. You were doing an old man.
Yeah. Oh, I see. You were doing your Steve-O.
I was doing Steve-O. And then you started doing an old man.
I was doing an old man before you were doing Steve-O, my friend.
Jimmy Stewart or Sean? Was it Sean Connery?
Well, would you like to do Sean Connery? No, that's not. That's. How about
well, wouldn't you like to do that? Would you like to do some Sean Connery?
Johnny Carson? Well, that's some wild stuff. Ed.
That is some wild, wacky stuff
that's
there.
Wild stuff.
Yes.
Yes, wild.
We love
stuff.
doing dated impressions on this show.
Dated? What year is this?
What year is it?
Christopher Lloyd?
You got it, dude.
Damn.
Dude, you're good at this
You're
game.
good at this
You're
game.
Good at
You're
this
good
game,
at this
man.
game. I'm doing you.
Okay.
No, I just was doing you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing me now? Whoa, weird.
Yeah, right.
Stuff. Anyways.
During the TV show or anything like that? What were like a stunt or something that you did? I know because you can't talk about Jackass 4.
No, I mean, I could talk a little bit about some things, but I mean, mostly I would just refer to the old stuff.
Yeah.
One time, I did this stunt called the Yellow Snow Cone. I'm sure you've seen it in Jackass, the movie, where I peed into a snow cone and then I ate it. Mm-hmm. People always ask me, what did it taste like? I say shit. Get it? Not pee, poo.
I love your sense of
Highbrow.
humor. Very highbrow.
It's-
Almost a unibrow. It's so high.
Tight. But in that episode where I performed the pea snow cone, which I originally wrote for being the Snoopy snow cone machine that I
imagine
peed
you
into.
sitting down at, like by the fireside in a typewriter and be like, "What stunts am I going to do tonight?" Just like super romantic.
Honestly, pretty much, I had a writer's
Tonight
jacket.
I will dip my balls in candle wax, light my taint on fire, and
Yes.
call it a day.
Yes. And I didn't use punctuation. No.
Bad boy.
No time. On to the next.
On to the next stunt.
Period. Why? But in that episode,
I feel like I'm dying right now, and this is my DMT release. It's this podcast. It's just
what did I do wrong to be here? My life, I'm dead.
every moment of my life is leading up to this moment right now.
Oh my God, that's insane. What if this is all just not real, anyways?
Wait a second.
Anyways, so in that, I did the yellow snow cone. So I peed into the snow cone, and then I proceeded to vomit the pee up. And then Dave kicked me in the gonads quite as hard as he could, and that put me into a spin where I basically vomited all over the place in the snow in his backyard. Mm-hmm. And my thinking it would be the best thing to do at that moment was that I picked up the vomit snow and I put it back into the snow cone, and then I looked at the camera and said, and this is the brown snow cone, and then I ate it, and everyone around me started throwing up, kind of like the Stand By Me episode where they start puking. And we could never show that on MTV or Paramount Pictures, whatever, Viacom.
Eating your own vomit?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is that? The crossing the line?
So they could show the pee, but they couldn't show the vomit.
Yeah.
What? That is really weird.
I think it has something to do with like bacteria in the air. Like your urine is actually not
Sterile.
It is sterile.
Yeah.
It's not like.
but the stomach acid,
but
maybe
the
it's
stomach
so
acid,
gross.
I don't know, but I didn't throw it at anybody. Nobody was even standing within 5 feet of me. They in fact ran when I did that, and no, we could never show that.
Did Rick Cossack throw up? I know he has.
That's Lance. Well, Rick throws up, but Rick's pretty good at about not throwing up.
I guess Lance does it way more.
Rick's pretty good. He's like a rock. He's behind that camera, sitting there shooting a shot.
Yeah,
doing his thing.
I love Rick. I'm good buddies
Rick
with
Cossack
Rick.
is the man.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
That's one, and another one that we never got to show, which I'm probably not supposed to talk about, but
At this point, whatever.
Yeah, they were post-COVID.
Yeah.
So fuck it, right?
Yeah.
Is that another thing that went into my mouth, and that was I took a tablespoonful of flour.
Okay.
And I put it in my mouth and I swallowed it. Yeah. come to find out, flour turns to dough when it gets wet. And so before I could swallow it, it turned to dough in my throat, and I couldn't breathe. So we had to shove a garden hose down my throat, full blast, and it forced the now dough cemented into my throat, through my esophagus down into my stomach, which later on I pooped out.
That
of my
sounds
anus.
that sounds like a nightmare.
It was cool. No, it wasn't very cool. In the moment, it was like another moment where I was like, "Uh-oh, I fucked up. I'm going to die now." Because I couldn't breathe, and everyone's like, and nobody had the garden hose ready. The garden hose was still wrapped up.
It was still in the
against
spindle.
Yeah, it was at Dave's house here in Portland.
Somebody's trying to run it, and then they're
No, it was
not
literally
long
like,
enough.
I'm like, do my intro. I'm Danger Ehren, and this is the flower or whatever. And
So
and I'm just like looking at everybody, and everyone's looking at me like thinking I'm, acting or something, which
Yeah.
they learned right then that
Did you start
I'm
going
not a very
like-
good actor. I'm just like, this is really happening. And so it took about 15 seconds before anybody even realized. And so another 15 seconds to get the garden hose over there. I was about a total of a minute at least where I was in panic mode, not breathing, which is different than being in relaxed mode, not breathing.
Right.
Because you're like panic mode, not breathing. 3 seconds done. Whereas,
But okay, but for the stunt though, explain to me like what was the idea behind the stunt though? You were just going to eat
pure
some
comedy.
flour.
Just pure comedy.
Okay.
No, that
Like-
was actually the stunt
That was a
idea.
stunt. Oh, is it you might choke?
Yeah.
Oh.
And it worked. But
yeah, but you didn't know it was going to
But
work.
who
that
knew it was
well.
gonna work?
You thought it was going to be more like a thing, like kind of coating your throat, not instantly like
like, well, I made sure that we got a good spoonful of flour.
Yeah, of
I
course.
wasn't gonna
You got
half-ass
to.
that.
No, that's not what you do.
No,
That's not what I
at
do.
all.
I'm
So,
not
like,
about half.
It was huge,
committing this
hubing.
stuff. Yeah.
And by the time but the minute it
You've gotten
touches,
good at that.
yeah,
You're really good.
COVID's been good to me. Quarantining,
Quarantining.
COVID's
Yellow
been
mic,
good to
yellow
me.
mic, yellow mic.
Yellow mic. Way too big. Way too big. It's too much. It's too much. I'm going to die. I'm choking. So, we're talking about the flower still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Totally.
So that moment happened, and in that moment, I thought for sure I'm probably gonna die now. But luckily, my bros were there, and they shoved that garden hose down my throat, and all of a sudden, I'm able to breathe again. And we proved that is a stupid thing to do, and we can never show that because
it's a household item.
Well, for instance, when I did the fast food football where I ran through the Burgerville on 12th and Hawthorne, which you're doing a comedy show tonight right down the street from, and I dressed as football uniform, and I ran through and stole the food from the lady handing it out, and I turned around, spiked it, did a high knees run off and everything.
Wasn't that one of your first ones that
was
like
the first
made
weekend of filming for the pilot. I did that and Danger Ehren Extreme Pogo. Those are the first two things I filmed. Back in the year of 1999.
Yeah.
I think 99.
99.
Yeah, it was 99.
Yes, 99.
But a lot of kids saw that and got inspired to do that themselves. And this was back when we still today say, do not try this at home.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, do people not know how to read? Or are they deaf? Because we write it and say it.
These stunts are performed by professionals.
Are like that many people blind and deaf that they don't hear or see us say, do not do this at home? Because there was a time when I swear to God, people were doing it at home a lot.
Oh yeah, dude.
So,
me growing up, I was one of those kids that was doing it at home. I have me and some buddies. We were trying to form our own. Even though like nobody asked us to, it was that thing because we were watching stuff. It was called like camel humps or it was something really stupid.
Nice.
It was
camel humps.
It was like camel something like camel humps or something like that. And it was me and a couple other guys who would do these just dumb. We'd film dumb stuff.
Cool.
And, like what do
you consider dumb? Like I to be honest, some would call it genius.
I would agree.
Okay.
I would agree.
Were you being dumb or just really smart?
Really funny. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's just say back in those days, there was a lot of broken arms in fast food handouts because a lot of kids were emulating what we said not to do, and they were running through fast food places
And breaking
stealing
people's
the
arms.
food and breaking people's arms that were handing it out. And so those people tried to sue, whoever the appropriate people
Yeah.
are to sue, which is nobody, because they're idiots and they should listen and read when we say, do not try this at home. We are professionals and or complete idiots.
I'll tell you a couple that we did. We did. This was all like literally when I was a teenager in the middle of Kansas and Missouri, like in the Midwest. One of them was I got completely covered in mud at a local pond.
Totally.
And then went to the public pool and like jumped in. And
You just went and jumped in?
Yeah. Because people were swimming in it. So
Oh,
they
I
saw me
know.
like covered head to toe. And I was like, and I went in. It was giant mud and gross stuff went into the pool. And people literally got out screaming. They're like,
Did you get in trouble?
No.
How did you not get in trouble?
We drove away immediately.
You just bolted.
Bolted. My buddy was driving. Like we hopped in his car laughing and we got in and then we drove
looking
off.
back at that now, like, do you think that was funny?
Oh, absolutely.
It's funny.
It's really funny.
But you know what's more funny is
What?
if you didn't just bolt and you hung out there and like then dealt with what people had to say to you.
Right.
Because that's where the real
That's-
action is.
right.
Like, for instance,
me keep swimming and being
yeah,
gross.
like, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
and-
I'm sorry.
and then another
try to
friend-
like get your way out of it.
Oh yeah, then another friend joining me, jumping in as
Yeah.
well, all muddy like
Yeah.
that. Like me, my brain more comedy developed now. I'd be like, oh well, that's the joke of it.
Yeah.
But back
the
then,
interaction of humanity between
Right.
what you did.
but we were so worried about actually getting
I know.
in trouble that we bolted. Yeah,
So you really missed out on a good opportunity to really like.
it's true.
You know,
and that's
fuck
why
with the
you're the
people.
professional dude, and,
Yeah, well.
and I was just a little amateur.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right. dude.
We didn't do that one. That's a good one. You didn't try that at home. That was your own. That was your own.
We did some of our own. Like,
Yeah.
we did sledding into bushes, which you guys did a lot
Yeah,
of like that
yeah,
kind
we
of
did
bush
bush-
work.
bush
You
stuff.
did a lot of bush work.
Yeah.
We did this thing because we thought thongs were hilarious. You guys made thongs hilarious.
They are.
They're very funny. We went doorbell ditching at this little town in Missouri. And we dressed up. We dressed up as women, and we dressed up in thongs, and we ding dong ditched like a bunch of neighbors in this little town in Missouri.
Wait. See, wait. What? I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to.
Yeah.
So you drove around dressed up in thongs and dressed up as women, and then you rang the doorbell and then took off running.
Yeah.
So. Why do you need to be dressed up in thongs if nobody's gonna see you, dude? The whole point is you should stick around for the person to open the door and be like, "Oh God, what is happening?" You guys rang a doorbell in thongs and then, bro, let's run, and then got back into the car just to hang out with each other dressed that way, but nobody else could see you. Think about what you're telling
When
me.
you break it down like that,
There's no other way to break it down.
it just sounds like such an excuse for us to put on thongs and dress up as women.
I guess so. Ding, ding, ding. My goodness. This is amazing. We're on to something here.
So the son of who was driving the car was a preacher. Okay, we go home to his house and we're so happy with ourselves that we got this hilarious footage. Right, we're watching ourselves on the living room TV. The preacher wakes up in the middle of the night and he goes, "What are you boys watching?"
Oh.
And we quickly turn it off and we're like, "Nothing." And he goes, "Rewind that. Was that the Fields house?" He recognized the house because it's a small town, and we're like, "Ugh." He made us watch it with him in the room.
And who was wearing the G-string?
I was.
You wearing the thonger?
Yeah. And it
What
was
color was
me
it?
and two brothers. I think it was like purple or
Where did
something
you
like
even
that.
find a thong out there? Where
I
in
think
Kansas?
it was women's. It was a women's
Was
song.
it like, do you knew somebody that had it? You just
I
borrowed
think we got a Goodwill one.
it? Okay, you got
We
a
didn't-
good Will thong, put it on, and didn't even stick around for the person to open the door to see you in that. You just got right back in the car and high-fived each other, maybe bro hugged.
I'm an
Oh my
amateur.
God. I'm
an amateur,
this
dude.
This is the most amazing thing I've. This is great. And so he's watching.
So he's watching, and then he recognizes the house, and it's me, the younger brother, and the older brother. And this guy is very, very militant about religion and the Bible, and it's a very strict
There's nothing in the
part of
Bible that says you
Christianity.
can't wear a G-string.
That is true.
Go ahead.
So then he goes, do you think that the Lord thinks that this is funny?
Oh, hell yeah, he does.
And my buddy, he goes, actually, yeah.
Did he say loud
said
enough that he heard it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And he got in so much trouble. So me and the younger brother, we had the same haircut style, and we're both like pale white tall guys, right? For the longest time, they thought that it was him in that video, and he got grounded for months. Months later, he's like, wait, you thought that was me? That was Jeremiah. He ratted me out after the fact. His mom would never hug me again. She would never, and I wasn't invited to their house anymore because they found out I was in the thong.
Over and over again?
I can't believe my baby would do that.
But she watched it over and over again and thought it was
her son.
and
Yeah.
then found out it was
me,
you.
and then-
And after watching it over and over again, realizes that she watched you, a
Me.
little boy outside of the family, in a thong, running back and forth,
not
going
her,
like,
not her child.
yeah, that would be awkward.
It would be awkward.
I can't
She
blame
never.
her.
She never hugged me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't invited to their house ever again.
Man, you should show up to their house in that.
In that
same thong.
But stick around for the reaction.
Stick
this
around for the
time.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be like, hey everybody, here shooting. Like, be like, hey everybody, what are you drinking? Let's party. Then more
Right.
like that.
Right.
And then see where it goes.
Okay.
Like for instance, one time I did this skit called The Handoff, where I pretended that I got my hand stuck underneath the car, jacked up, like changing the tire, and it was a rubber hand, and many people came up to try and get the car lifted off of my hand that was underneath, and it was rubber, and I was pulling it and whatever else, and that would be like if they came over there, and instantly I just took off running. And left the rubber hand there underneath the tire.
Well, that's the difference between.
Point is that like the shock
you having
of people.
even the confidence to stay in the pocket like that.
There's nowhere else to go.
You know what I mean?
The
That's a
deeper
different
in
thing.
you go, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
You just got to confuse
and
them.
that's how I figured out with my comedy down
Yeah.
the line, but I didn't know that when I
but
was
these
younger.
are good things to flush out right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like maybe you were like learning something from your past that's helped you in the now time. Like
Yeah.
your timing. You know, like fuck, I'm not gonna wear a G-string again without letting people really hang out with me.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
Would be kind of funny if you actually showed up to a comedy show in your G-string
Yeah, and not address it. So
and just not
anyway,
address it at all.
If we just walk out.
And then
in
at the end,
G-string.
maybe you could tell that story that you've been saving this for like 30 years.
Yeah.
You've been waiting to just shock people with your awesome physique.
That's good.
It's doable. But anyways, so confusing people is like, I think,
Yeah.
the joke of all those things that you said, the shock
Mm-hmm.
of what am I looking at? That initial like,
Oh yeah, that's where the comedy.
Yeah.
Is the reactions.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, we didn't get into
no,
the
you
reactions.
just like, did they even open the door when you were still there? They never even saw what you were wearing.
No, and we thought we were so slick. Right? Can you believe that we rang their doorbell?
At not one point did you guys think that like what you were wearing was part of like the joke? Because you thought it was the joke. But
We thought it was the joke, but we weren't smart enough to.
I still like love this so much. It's like one of the greatest, like as you say, fails ever.
Oh, it's a giant fail.
Like I want to refilm this. Like
We can.
Let's film this.
We
like,
can.
I'll come to LA. I don't care. Let's film
do
this.
it.
Like
I
I'll
will
do it with you.
I will
You
do
and
that
I.
1,000%.
You and I
Yes.
will wear G-strings or
Yes.
Speedos at least,
Yes.
and we'll go knock on somebody's door, and we're gonna stand there, and we're gonna have a conversation with those people.
Okay,
We're
let's
not
do
gonna
it.
run.
Okay, we're not
We're
gonna do
gonna
it.
stick it. Stay
I'm
in the
holding
pocket.
you to this. I'm
100%.
Let's do it.
We're doing it.
Okay, because
I'll be down in 2 weeks. I'll be down to LA.
This like you said, it's like 15, 20 years in the making.
You gotta break this,
I
man.
gotta make this right.
You got to make this right.
Yeah.
This is like a long time coming.
This is a very long time. This is serious.
Life-changing moment right here.
I think it'll be a shift.
Yeah.
I think
Power
the stars
shift.
are gonna align.
God. This could be the one thing that's held you back from anything you've ever wanted to do.
This could be the reason why you're here as a comedian and not here, Jeremiah.
Huh? Prom king?
No.
Oh. Well, do you want to be?
Yeah.
Fucking do this.
Let's do it, dude.
Yeah, you prom king.
Yeah,
I'll be
dude.
prom king with you.
Okay, great.
Wait, so we'll be two
like,
prom
like
kings.
two of
Yeah,
them?
it's
Do
2021.
we like trade out? Like
No, we just
is
we're
it two
both.
crowns? We're
no,
just both.
we'd share it.
Oh, okay.
We'll both be prom king.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty normal.
No, that's fine.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
2021.
I'm gonna close out the show with a segment that I call Sax Talk.
Sax Talk.
Sax Talk.
I was a young boy. You know, probably about, I think I was 20 years old. And a friend of mine was getting married. And it was going to be a beautiful wedding on the mountain. My mom and dad were actually coming because they were friends with him as well. And I proceeded to go to this wedding dressed up in what I thought was a proper attire, which at the time was polyester pants and a nice white button-up shirt. And as we were there, after the vows were spoken and the wedding proceeded to go into an after party, as they say, a wedding party. And at most weddings, there are quite a few beautiful women there, as bridesmaids and, whatnot. And we've paired up with bridesmaids back then, as they do today. Still, you pair up with a bridesmaid. Well, I proceeded to dance with this particular bridesmaid. And in that moment, for some reason, the polyester pants started itching on my penis, right on the head. Just the head. And I was aroused, not just by her beauty, but also by that feeling of polyester on my penis. Well, that proceeded to get hard, which then stuck out of my pants quite large, which is not really that big, but big enough to notice that I have an erection. I have an erection. Not only do I have an erection, but I have an erection in the middle of a dance floor at a wedding that my parents are at as well. So instead of not acknowledging this erection, I go and I do the exact thing that any boy would do at the age of 20, and that is I go into a breakdancing move on a slow song. And the breakdancing move involves me leaning over so nobody can see I have an erection. And as I slide off that dance floor in my breakdance move, showing nobody my erection, I walked off confident knowing that I did the right thing, and my mom and my dad did not have to see me getting a hard-on at a wedding. It was too late for the woman, though. She had already seen it. In fact, she accidentally bumped into it when we were dancing. But that's okay, because we were both young, and we had a good time. I got erection. I got erection. I got erection. Oh, to be young again, right? Oh, indeed, indeed. Oh, man, took me right back there to... Sorry.
It was a good old flashback, wasn't
Sorry.
it? Whoa. You're leaking there, buddy.
No,
Whoa,
no. That's
Whoa.
just
That's
some keys.
That's the bottled water.
The keys.
The keys.
Some water.
That's the liquid keys.
some weed, and some
Yeah,
gummies.
yeah.
That's all that's in my pocket. Lighter.
Right.
And this thing right here. See that right there?
Uh-huh.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
That's grass, man. That's grass.
Okay, all right.
All right. Nothing's going on.
Okay,
Why are
nothing's
you
going
looking
on.
at my dick?
I don't know.
Why did you just look at my dick?
I don't know. I was curious.
You just looked at my dick.
I was curious.
That's not my ankle.
Okay, I'm looking down here now.
Oh, man. Well, anyways.
So anything you want to plug or anything?
You know. That's funny. Do I want to plug anything? Yeah, actually, I would like to plug that Jackass 4 will be coming out into theaters this October 2021. Granted that, you know, all goes as well with the COVID and pandemic and whatnot, and the theaters are open. So we worked really hard on that. And it's going to be, I think you're really going to enjoy it. I'm going to be putting together some merch stuff that I'm going to be like slinging through my .com that is, you know, someday I'll probably build. Maybe not. I don't know.
Heck yeah.
I'll be releasing a photo albums, whatnots of bands that I've been touring with for the last 20 years.
Well, send me links to
send you
whatever you want,
links
and I'll
to
put it
that.
in the description and all that stuff.
Other than that, the only thing I want to really plug is, you know, be solid human, and not just like care for each other, but care for yourself, and understand that we only get one life, one chance, and every moment and every choice you make affects the next. It really does. So don't fuck it up. Okay? Peace.
Peace. Love you, brother.
Love you, brother. Tight.
Yellow Mike.